Hello, I just did a daily event and I thought I'd do a deck tech of what I played in it. Won't tell you the results of that tournament right now, but I'll let's see what I've got in here. So it's a standard Bant Control deck I've got here. I just took this list from someone who went 4-0 on Magic Online. I switched out one Think Twice for Elixir of Immortality. I really like this card. I think it makes it so, especially if you're playing 4 Sphinx's Revelations, you don't have to worry about firing them off. You don't have to worry about decking yourself essentially, and that to me is a huge upside. It does create some issues when you're sideboarding in your Rest in Pieces. You have to make a decision: do I go with the Rest in Peace plan or I go with the Elixir of Immortality plan for the long game? But it's pretty standard. 4 Farsteeks, 4 Azorius Charms. This card I actually don't like very much, but it's I guess it's just absolutely necessary against the red decks or the red-black beatdown decks to keep you alive in time to just play your stuff. So, and it does draw you cards. So I find myself drawing cards with this a lot and not too impressed with it, but it's kind of like a necessary card. Think Twices are just a great utility draw spell. And I think 3 is actually the correct number. The list I took had 4. Like I said, I switched out for an Elixir, but I like 3. A couple Augur Boluses, they're pretty sweet for just throwing out a blocker early and getting the spells you need. Counter spells, 3 Dissipates and 2 Detention Spheres, which I like a lot. I really don't like playing more than 2. I really don't like the card, honestly, because if your opponent answers it, then they get their stuff back. But it's a necessary thing to stop that Planeswalker or what have you that you must have. So 2 is the right number, I think, for sure. This deck has 4 Supreme Verdicts. Gotta have it against too many decks right away, so you can't play less than 4 anymore. I have 2 Jace, Architect of Thought, and he's just awesome for getting card advantage and stopping threats from just overrunning you with a bunch of 1/1s, so I like him. Just 1 Restoration Angel, which I find interesting. The obvious 4 Thragtusk, and then choosing to play 4 Sphinx Revelation. That's a tough choice. I was running 3 in most of my control decks, but 4 you can blow it for 1 or 2 and be fine with that because you have more in the deck. So I guess that makes sense. Sideboard, 3 Terminuses for more creature matchups. I also like bringing these in against the Reanimator decks because they're restoration or not the big angel. They can't loop it because you're putting the creatures on the bottom of their deck. A couple Rock's Faith Menders to shore up the mono red deck. The 1 Rebuke was in the sideboard of the deck I took, and I found it kind of weird that it would be in there, but it actually has its functions. So against the creature decks. A couple of Rest in Peace to try to fight against the Snapcaster deck. 1 more Dissipate, 2 Negates, and Dispel against heavy control decks. These 2 Jaces should actually be the big one. Jace, the Jace, which one? What's it called? Memory Adept. But I don't have Memory Adepts right now. But I will be switching those out for Jace Memory Adepts. And I think that's about it. And so, I enjoy watching this daily event. Thanks.